Joined now by journalist and research fellow at the Centre for Policy Studies, Harriet Sargent, and also the journalist and author, Rachel Shabi. Thank you very much. Thanks very much, both of you, for joining us. Harriet Sargent, to you first of all. Should she stay or should she go?
Well, I think she should stay, but I think actually that's not the real question here. I mean, the real question that's been thrown up is the total incompetence of the Home Office. And I actually went to the Immigration Department of the Home Office a number of years ago and saw it was it's a complete madhouse. And here we have large numbers of illegal immigrants. We even have criminals, foreign criminals here, all of whom should be deported. And what are the Home Office doing? They're doing as Yvette Cooper, an official told Yvette Cooper today, they're going for the low-hanging fruit, the easy targets. And those are UK citizens. It's a real condemnation of the Home Office. I mean, if anyone should resign, it should be the Home Office.
OK, so Home Office to resign from Harriet. Rachel, what are your views? Do you think Amber Rudd should stay or go?
I think Amber Rudd should go, but she's not the only one. So if Amber Rudd did not know that this system of deportation targets was going on in her own department, a system which was happy to overlook the rights of people as citizens, as immigrants, as human beings, in order to meet these arbitrary targets for deportation. If she didn't know that, then that is basic incompetence and she should go. However, the other person that should go is the architect of this entire system, Theresa May. She was the one who designed this hostile environment system. She was the one that put into place the immigration targets, which are stupid, dangerous, unachievable, damaging. They're the ones. It's because of those stupid targets that we have a Home Office setting itself targets for deportations and catching in that system people who are citizens of this country, who are our neighbours, our friends, our family. They are British, they are us. It is that system that has caused this distress, and it is that system and the architect of that system, Theresa May, that also needs to go.
OK, Harriet, you're keen to come in?
Can I just point out, just to point something out, that actually the original people who started talking about hostile environment for illegal immigrants were the Labour Home Secretaries and the past Labour government, John Reid and Alan Johnson, and they talked about creating hostile environment for illegal migrants. And actually, in all this debate, we shouldn't forget that actually that is what the government should be doing. It should be creating a hostile environment, because if we buy into the welfare state, which we all do in this country, then we have to make sure that the welfare state, school places, hospitals, housing, are for the people who are illegally entitled to them.
Rachel,
it's not sustainable and it's not fair if it's for anybody else.
Well, let's put that to Rachel. I mean, obviously, the Windrush scandal aside, shouldn't the Home Office, which has said publicly that it wants to reduce the number of illegal immigrants in this country, I mean, that is, if that is the aim, what is wrong with targets?
Part of the problem with this conversation, which I repeat has led to this distress and deportations of people who have been living here for 50 years, paying taxes, part of our society, part of Britain. Part of the reason that we have come to this is because we're asking exactly the sort of wrong questions like that. We are approaching immigration from the wrong angle. It's exactly the sort of rhetoric that people like Harriet and the Conservative government and the new Labour government have been pushing for decades over immigration. There wouldn't be a problem with illegal immigration if the system of migration was not so punitive in the first place. And it is dangerous and damaging. Let me finish, Harriet. It is dangerous and damaging to our society to say that we need to set immigration targets when we know that numbers of immigration going up is a sure sign and only proves that our economy is booming. If we want to cut those targets, we are also saying that we want to carry out national self-harm. It has been an absolute lie and immoral and wrong and has led to this. the kind of rhetoric that Harriet and others have been promoting about concerns over illegal immigration and all the rest of it, that is exactly why we're in the situation we are in now, and it has to stop.
Okay, Harriet?
Well, I'm sorry. We have our hospitals overflowing. We have school
Not because
places
of migrants.
overflowing.
Not
we don't
because of
have
migrants.
Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yes.
That's just
yes, we do. If you look at
straightforwardly
the
a
figures,
lie,
it is
Harriet.
absolutely so.
It's straightforwardly a lie
You
that
have
you are
school
pushing.
places. Can you let me finish?
Of course.
Our school places have shot up from, and it is down. If you look at the figures, it's down to migrants coming here and having children. The same with housing. If we are going to start building, I mean, we have Corbyn saying, okay, he's going to build 100,000 houses. Well, great, but we have 300,000 migrants coming in a year. 300,000 last year, 300,000 the year before. How is 100,000 houses possibly going to help? We have to look at this, and also I would like to point out that it is often migrants themselves and the poorest people themselves who find themselves in competition with these new arrivals. Now, how is that fair? And how is that moral?
Can I just
Rachel.
respond to that?
Yep.
There is absolutely no evidence to support anything that Harriet is saying. Study after study, survey
Well, there's
after
a lot
survey.
of evidence.
Can I now take my turn to finish? Survey after survey has shown, including most recently from the London School of Economics, has shown migrants do not depress wages. Migrants do not place a burden on public services such as schools and hospitals. In fact, the reality is migrants are net contributors. They are a benefit to the economy. And the fact of the matter is that for years, this debate has been driven by scaremongering and suspecting immigrants, as opposed to just seeing them as ordinary, normal people like you and I, with the same dreams, the same aspirations, the same desires to be useful and valued members of society. And they have been a benefit to society. And instead of seeing that and valuing it and cherishing it, we've had a stigmatizing, demonizing debate that has placed all the blame for economic failures of this government, including austerity, which is what is causing pressures on public services. It's austerity. We've had all that concern pointed erroneously, untruthfully, and dangerously at immigration instead for years. It has to stop, Harriet.
Harriet, you're scaremongering, according to Rachel.
Sorry.
Harriet, are you scaremongering?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, am I allowed to stay or something or not?
Yes. Are you scaremongering?
Sorry, am I scaremongering? No. First of all, I don't see why control. I believe passionately that, and I think this is one thing that we do agree on, is that people who are in this country must be treated as citizens, must have total rights and total freedom. And this is not what has happened with the Windrush generation. I completely agree about that. But at the same time, to pretend that migrants don't need houses, I mean, I'm sorry, where are they? Where are they living? I mean, they are living in tents. Of course they need houses. Of course we need to build more houses. They need school places. I mean, what are their children doing? Of course they're going to school and they need school places. And this idea that when you say they contribute to the economy, I'm sorry, but this is just not true about low-skilled migrants. A family of 4 with 1 worker will be paying £37 in tax a week. He will be receiving, through tax credits, housing benefit, he'll be receiving over £300,000 a week from the government. So to say that low-skilled are net contributors is just nonsense.
Okay, we're running out of time, but Rachel, very quickly, chance for you finally to respond.
I mean, I think Harriet is straightforwardly peddling some myths about immigration in order to stoke up fear and suspicion of people who, I repeat, are net contributors to our society. They are a part of our society. They are part of life. If there are more people working here, there are more people paying taxes, and therefore there is more money to build more houses and put into public services. You just do not understand basic economics if you do not understand that fact. And worse, you are demonizing people who have come here in order to contribute and be valued by society. We should be cherishing that. The demonisation of migrants has to end.
Okay, we, I'm afraid, have to end as well. I sense you two will not be agreeing on this subject at any point. Harriet